This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast.
With Tony Bruschi.
A Wisconsin man who's 81 years old has pled guilty to killing his wife with sparkling juice bottle, and he cites her narcissism for the reason of the murder. Never a good idea to kill somebody over any reason. But if at 81 years old, and there's divorce still, there's a lot of options you can do to get away from that sort of behavior other than murdering someone. But it's why it's good to be nice to one another, including narcissists being nice to others.
They were talking divorce.
Well, then they should have.
He couldn't wait. He didn't like the divorce agreement or something.
He's 81 years old. John E. Berthold pled guilty to the brutal killing of his 77-year-old wife, Diane Berthold. The incident, which occurred last year, saw Berthold confess to authorities that he bludgeoned his wife to death with an unopened bottle of sparkling grape juice, citing her alleged narcissistic behavior as the primary motive for his actions. According to court records, Berthold entered a guilty plea for one count of second-degree intentional homicide with a domestic abuse modifier following negotiations between his legal team and prosecutors. The initial charge of first-degree intentional homicide was downgraded as part of the agreement, with certain modifiers removed. The tragic events unfolded July 13th of 2023 when one of the couple's sons visited their home in the town of Port Washington. Initially, believing it was to be empty or that his parents were resting. However, upon hearing the disturbing sounds emanating from their bedroom, the son discovered his father attempting to take his own life with a plastic bag over his head. Removing the bag, he found his mother, Diane Berthold, lifeless with a towel covering her face. During subsequent interviews with authorities, John Berthold confessed to a killing, stating that his wife's alleged narcissism had become unbearable, leading him to contemplate her murder for weeks before carrying it out while she slept. He expressed little remorse for his actions and even indicated he would do it again if given the chance. He's fucking serious. Yeah. Investigations into the couple's background revealed they'd been discussing divorce, a decision they ultimately rescinded shortly before Diane's murder. John Berthold admitted to police that his reluctance to divide their estate evenly among their children and grandchildren served as a significant motive for his wife's murder. Berthold's sentencing hearing is scheduled for September 18th. He faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. Eau Claire Circuit Court Judge Beverly Wickstorm has ordered a pre-sentence investigation to be completed July 18th, and Berthold's legal team is required to finalize their own investigation by August 30th. It does make you wonder if there was some dementia going on here.
There's something, and I think that was part of that whole modified charges. And that had to do with his age.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense. Number one, she's so narcissistic. Well, you lived with her for 81 years. And I could see at some point if she truly was, I have no idea.
Which we don't know, yeah.
That, she'd be getting on his damn last nerve. But if they were going to get divorced, and the reason they didn't is he didn't want the money, their estate evenly divided among their children and grandchildren, which seems kind of perfectly reasonable to me. Mm-hmm. That's their estate. That's after they die. Yeah. It's like, in fact, as far as I go, it's like, yeah, I'll do what you want. You're dead.
Yeah.
At that point. So none of it makes sense. And that leads me to think maybe there is some dementia there.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that stay in horribly toxic relationships and goes on and on and on. And there's outs and they don't take them. And you get to a point when you start getting, dementia and all that coming into play. Your bearings, I guess, of recognizing right from wrong or what's appropriate or not, I think also sometimes go out the window, and sometimes those things that you would have said to yourself, I want to kill this person or something. The normal part of your healthy brain goes, that's insane. You can't do that. That part goes away. And then suddenly it's like, I'm going to kill this person with a Welch's bottle.
Oh my God. And that would be horrific.
Well, and then the fact that he thought the best way to kill himself was putting a plastic bag over his head as well.
The person I feel really bad for is the poor son.
Oh my God.
Just went to go visit his parents.
I'd be curious.
Walked into that.
I'd be curious to know what his account of his parents is like over life. Like, my parents are fucking crazy and it's a nightmare, with them, or was this like a total shock that this happened? I mean, I could see like if it's something where it's like, oh, I could have called that one coming because they're always at each other or something, and like, well, I'm not surprised it ended in a potential murder-suicide, but just murder is attempted suicide.
To have your parents be married all those years and then for it to end like that at their ages, it's just so sad.
That would be, it's like, hey, we got the 60th wedding anniversary coming up, the party we're going to have over at the Holodome. And we got a country kitchen to cater it, and everybody's going to be here. It's going to be a great time. I say this because it's Wisconsin, and that's a very real possibility. Country kitchen catering something at a Holodome, and then we're going to have to cancel this. Unfortunately, things didn't work out well.
Oh, sad.
Yeah,
and they could have just gotten divorced. It's like, who cares? Once with your estate, So they decided not to divorce because they couldn't agree on what to do with the estate, so let's stay together. They should have divorced.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, it is sad. It's one of those things where it's okay to call it quits sometimes. Just sticking around for a very long time is not the best answer. Kids are out, kids are gone. Do what's best for yourself at that age. And what's best is not murdering your spouse, no matter how narcissistic they may be.
Want to listen ad-free? Want advanced access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free.
So you can binge on true crime
until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.